What's up, guys? How's it going? Welcome back to another unboxing showcase review, because we do have another figure that I'm trying to move along the line of figures that I have to just go over. But this one is fairly new. This one is Joy Toy figures, 1/12 scale Joy Toy figures. So there have been quite a few that have been coming out. This is one of the latest ones that has been recently released. This is called the Deer Hunter, part of the Frontline Chaos wave or series that Joy Toy is making. This one, of course, as you can tell, is a female character. Not too much of a history going on in terms of like a background story. I can kind of play off of the idea of what she can be. It's quite interesting, but as you can see, this is beautiful art right here. I love the whole red and black that's going on here. There is blood on the figure, so you'll see that in a second. But there you go, Joy Toy at the top, Frontline Chaos, the level 9, and then of course some information on the back of it. So this of course is the typical packaging that we've been getting with the Joy Toy 1/12 scale figures. Nice cardboard box, and then you basically just open from the top, and you will notice that there is some foam inserts, and then when you lift that up, there we go, we have the figure itself. So silica gel, of course. Here you can see, geez, everything just wants to fall out. You can see what's inside everything here for the packaging. It's nicely contained, you know, it's taken care of pretty nicely in regards to how it's packaged. So let's get everything out, put everything on the display so we can get a better look at it. All right, guys, we got everything out of the box. Everything looks pretty good. I mean, in regards to paint and sculpt, this looks absolutely amazing. But I will probably have some gripes on this figure, and I will kind of go over that. And sometimes it's the typical gripes that I got from other Joy Toy figures, but we will kind of get a look and a better, closer look to see what's going on. So let's go over the accessories, and then we'll go over everything that comes on the figure. All right, guys, so first off, we got 2.5 pairs of hands. So here's the first set. This is what was on the figure itself. They're these claw type hands. I think they're relaxed hands, as you can see. I'm sure she could probably grip anything. They're very pliable. You're able to move them a bit, but you can see the detail. These are like bandaged up hands, and you can see that there's these like large claws on her fingertips. Pretty much what you can see. So that can lead you to many different ideas to what kind of character this is. But I mean, look at the detail. You can see the bandage wraps and then the blood and everything like that. So that's your first set of hands. And here we have the second set of hands, which this one, I call this more relaxed hands. This more relaxed hands, this more like the gripping hands. But you can see same sculpt, bandage all up, blood splatter, and of course the long claw nails right there. So she must mutate into something. She must change into something. So that's where my thought process is for this type of character. And then the other hand that we have, just a single hand, is this trigger finger hand. Same thing. You can see the claws, the blood splatter, but it's definitely pliable like it was, like all the other hands are. So you can see that there. I'm going to assume it's going to be holding this guy, but I have my worries about this. So this is quite the crossbow weapon. It's absolutely wonderful. I wish there was some string or anything like that can help tie it in better. You do have great sculpt and paint going on. It looks really good, but this is enormous. This is a huge crossbow, like really big. I mean, it's basically half of her. It's huge. My concern is how it's going to fit in that trigger holding hand. So it does come with 4 separate arrows, which is actually very nice. They're all the same and quite detailed, nicely painted too. So looks really good. And I believe you can let it sit in the channel right there. So that's actually really, really nice to see that you can actually fit that in there. You might need to use some kind of like tack to keep it in there. Oh, I got some string on there. to keep it and hold it in place, because it will just fall out. So there's no real click or clip anything to hold it in there, but nice to see that they, you know, put that in there. Okay, and like I said, here's holding it. The weight of this thing, it's not heavy, but I think it's because, you know, the hand is very pliable, so you can kind of bend the fingers to make it hold better. But I mean, look at how I'm trying to make it fit into her hand. That's a big problem, and I don't like that. I mean, I know it's going to fall out. It's easily going to fall out. There's not much I can really do or say that'll help this any better unless I put some tack on it to hold in her hand, which isn't a good thing. I mean, there can be moments where it can hold, but it's so loose. That's the problem. It's loose in her hand. Yeah, she could probably hold it upwards like this and rest it against the back of her shoulders. That might help. That might work. But I don't like the fact that it's loose and can easily just come out or fall out of her hand. And we do have another weapon here. We have this axe. It looks like it's all black plastic, but there are some dry brushing all around. Could be a little bit better. They could have painted the bandages wrapped around the handle here. That would have been nice, but it looks good. It's different. So this will hold into one of the gripping hands, and that actually fits very nicely, as you can see there. So not too bad. So we have a very nice quiver here. It's a brown plastic. Got the belts and the straps to going around, and a nice like loose like faux leather strap to go around. So that's really cool. And of course the arrows that we have, we can insert it in the quiver, and I got them all in there. Yep, there you go. And everything will look good. We'll try and strap that around her shoulder and see what that looks like. All right, I put it over her coat because it's a much more larger strap. So I think that the bulkiness of the coat, it can fit very nicely around there. So that's what it looks like. And there's her hood. But there you go. That's how it'll look. You can help maneuver this a little bit better for your likeness. Not likeness, for your liking. But yeah, just play around with it. I'm sure you can get to the point where you want it to go. And then it comes with this, I guess you can, like an extra bandage. It just comes with this extra bandage. You could probably utilize this for anything. Just use your imagination to use it for. I'm sure you could wrap it around her leg or arms, whatnot. I'm sure you can figure this out, but it does come with this. Unfortunately, it doesn't come with any instructions to kind of guide you on what you want to use this for, but hey, imagination. And the other accessory I'd have to say are probably the soft goods. And this coat especially is definitely an accessory because you can take it on and off the figure. Outside of the clothing, of course, but you can see this coat, it's so well tailored. Look at that. And there's various discolorations of like possible blood stains. You can see that along the arm, along the hood. You could see all that right there. The stitching is phenomenal. Everything about this looks really, really good. And of course, it's got an inner lining as well and a working zipper. It's got a working zipper. The one thing, of course, I would probably, does that, yep, it's got functional pockets too. Look at that. We got nice functional pockets. This is a large coat for her. I think it's geared for it to be that way, to have it large. It does fit her nicely, but I think it's just the body part is so big. I think normally, I guess I probably would prefer more form-fitting, especially for a jacket, but it's a jacket. I mean, it's expected to be big. With or without it, it's still a great soft goods piece. It looks really good. And once again, it's functional. But yeah, play around with it. I'm going to take this jacket off in the next clip so we could kind of go over the actual figure. All right, guys, time to go over the figure. This looks amazing. The head sculpt, it's painted great. The applications to, I guess, I want to say this is more digital because it's more animated, but it looks really good. I love the glossiness that they put around the eyes and the lips, so that way it's highlighted a little bit better. But this looks awesome. It looks amazing. We have this red hair, nice clean sculpt lines here to kind of accentuate, more animated, I guess you can say. So it looks really good. Ears are also sculpted as well, so it looks good. And she's got makeup on, you can tell. There is some really nice features right there. The overall body and the skin tone is this pale white, which is kind of familiar in regards to the other Joy Toy female figures that I have, so not too, you know, surprised about that. But we do have soft goods on this figure. We have this red striped white shirt, which is form fitted. She does have a, it seems like she does have a different upper torso than the other Joy Toy figures that I have. The arms and the legs pretty much are very similar. It is a double joint, so you can see right there. Outside of that, I mean, everything looks pretty good. The one thing is this skirt seems way too big, but then I think they were trying to make sure that this doesn't hinder articulation, so they made it big. So you can see how like floppy it is going up and down. So if it was a little bit more tighter around here and stayed at this point, I probably would have liked it more. But I know what's going to happen. If it was tight, you know, you're hindering the articulation. But if it was loose, look, you can go much further. So yeah, there is that. She does have underwear on, which is funny. She's got this underwear that goes right over there. I guess that was needed. That's so funny. But yeah, the skirt looks really good. It's a jean type skirt. Stitching looks incredible. It's got the blood stains on there. It's got blood stains on the shirt too. Really cool. And this is a functional belt. That's the buckle. There's the strap. It's a functional belt, and it's got some Velcro on here to kind of tighten this up a bit. So still really, really nicely tailored soft goods that they got going on here. And of course with the legs, you can see here just the pale tone of this plastic for the legs. And then we have her shoes or boots, whatever you want to call them. They're just basically two tones in color. So that's really all. It looks like there's just straps, no shoelaces, but it still looks really nice, very nicely sculpted as well. So that's the paint and sculpt of this female, and it looks great. Very simple, but because of the soft goods, it looks really great. And just quickly go over articulation. I mean, there are some limitations to it, so there are some things that you got to look out for and understand that there are reasons for the limitations, because with the head sculpt, we can move, of course, our left and right. She does have great tilt going on, which is nice. She can look down just that much, but she cannot look up. She can look up, not barely up, because they don't like to ruin the sculpt of the head, and I think that's the main reason why, and that's with the other Joy Toy figures as well. So the hair can get in the way, but also the sculpt of the head also stops it from going anywhere else. We do have the shoulders that can go only that far, but it is a double jointed elbow, so you can see you can really get a lot of range in that double jointed elbow, which is awesome. And I think it's somewhat pinless, but you can see some pins kind of just right there on the inside, so looks really good. We do have a diaphragm joint, which is nice that we can rock around. Very, very nice. Doesn't move much forward, but can go back very nicely. Very, very nicely. I think you can see that right there. The forward is very little. There is a ball joint at the waist, which is good. We can move around. Oh geez, I just popped it off. You can maneuver it just a little bit. I think the hips get in the way, so you can be mindful of that. That's something to look out for. But when you do turn it, be careful, you will pop it off. You can just pop it back in, as you can see, but you can maneuver a little bit of a crunch, not a lot though. She does have an upper thigh cut and the double jointed knee, which definitely goes a lot all the way up. And then with her foot, she's got the ball peg. She can go up that far, back a little bit, not too bad, but she's got some pivot that you can really rock around here. So not too bad with articulation, especially for this style of a figure. So let's see how tall she actually is, and she's, wow, she's actually at the 6 3/4. that's pretty tall for this scale, so that's not too bad. And for comparison, let's start with some Marvel Legends. We got a female and a male figure here, so we can see just in terms of height. And as you can tell, yeah, she's definitely taller in regards to the female, and right alongside with the male. And for some Mythic Legions, why not? I do have a female Legion builder here, so she's practically the same height, so that's not too bad. That's pretty good. And with Action Force, we have here Eclipse. They're basically the same height as well. And here we go, having her alongside other Joy Toy Frontline Chaos level 9 series. So that's pretty cool. They're all around the same height. It's not too bad. That's really, really good. Thank God we're keeping consistency with the scale. But I think she's going to work along great because we have all these different characters and backgrounds of these individuals. I'm actually happy with it. It's really cool to see this diversity. I'm enjoying this line. All right, guys, that is the end of the showcase. So, do I like it? I do. I still like it. I think it could have been executed a little bit better. After just playing around with it a lot more, the jacket is definitely too big for her. Considering her smaller size frame, I think the jacket is just too big. I think if it was just smaller, a little bit more form-fitting, it wouldn't feel as bulky. And then of course the skirt is way too big. I understand how they wanted to kind of loosen it up a bit so that way it won't hinder articulation. Perfectly fine, but I just feel as if the skirt is just way too big because it just bunches up and moves around all over the place. It doesn't work. So that, all in all, even with those two gripes, especially when they're soft goods, because the soft goods, I love soft goods on these figures. It's just unfortunate that I don't think it was executed properly. The crossbow, way too big as well. Crossbow is way too big for this smaller size frame of a female character. It does look cool. I think it's very well painted and sculpted. I just think it's too big. I think, in my own opinion, I feel as if I may get one of my friends to possibly make like a better skirt, or maybe even like jeans for that matter. Maybe something for pants that might work better for her. I think I'll still keep the jacket around because it's still her jacket. We can still work on off. But I think I'm going off on a tangent right now. But this is what I feel, and I think it needs to be noted. I mean, Joy Toy is doing a great job with these figures. I just feel as if this particular one, unfortunately, the soft goods did not work in its favor for this type of character. So let me know what you guys think. I would greatly appreciate it. Let me know how you feel about this character. I know it's a new character. Some might say it's just weird. This doesn't come with much. But all in all, I gave it a shot. I wanted to try it, and I think it's still going to look good with the rest of my Joy Toy figures. So let me know what you guys think. Hit that like, comment, subscribe. As always, I greatly appreciate your time in watching my video. Hope to see you guys soon, and I hope to see you on the next hunt.